Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and on this episode we're reviewing New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 102. Now before we get into that, if you haven't seen any of my shows before, I rate everything on a 1 to 5 scale, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. Let's jump right in. First match of the show, we have Haste going up against Jarrell Nelson. I thought this was an okay match, a good way to start the show. A little bit of a shocker with the ending on it. I like these guys. Jarrell Nelson does pick up the win on this. I was a little bit surprised. It was kind of a quick roll-up type pin. A little bit shocked because of how TMDK is represented in Strong. And I know the West Coast Wrecking Crew, Nelson and Isaacs, are represented Strong as well, but it feels like TMDK was the more important of the two teams, and I kind of was a little shocked with this surprise. Like I said, because they're standing, it shocked me a bit. I'm giving that a 3. I thought it was a good opener. Not great, but good. Next up, we get a backstage promo with Rocky Romero, who's calling out Dax Harwood of FTR for a solo match, which I think is going to be an absolute banger. Awesome little promo here. Rocky showed a lot of fire. Rocky's a guy who kind of gets pushed to the background a bit in New Japan, and it's really a shame because he's a fantastic wrestler and he's a fantastic talent and he can talk. Kind of, like I said, it's kind of surprising how much or how little or lowly he's regarded. And I know he's been a multiple-time tag champion, and I know there's all that, and I get it, but it kind of feels like a lot of times he's an afterthought. I think this is going to be an absolute insane match. I think it's probably going to be one of the better matches that Strong has this year. I'm excited to see it. Going from that, our next match is a Battle of the Giants with King Kong versus Godzilla, Big Damo versus Hikuleo. I enjoy this, and I'm really enjoying the journey of Hikuleo becoming better and better with every show, better with every opportunity he gets. This was a fantastic match for him, a good way to show it's not just his size that makes him a special wrestler, because you have a guy in Big Damo who's almost as big, if not bigger. I think he weighs more. He's not as tall as Hikuleo, but he's also a massive guy that would rely on his size. I thought this was a very good match. I really enjoyed what they did here. Hikuleo picks up the win. Again, and another thing with him wrestling and winning over a guy like Damo, who's been a star for over a decade, it really helps his standing. I'm going to give this one a 4. I thought it was a good match, a solid way. I'm enjoying the curve and the evolution of Hikuleo, where I think he's going to be something really special. Now we go into the main event of the evening, which will be the finals for the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship. That's a lot. We get Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher versus Yuya Uemura and Christopher Daniels. Couple things out right off the bat. Uemura and Daniels, I hope they keep them together for a little while as a team, because they're absolutely fantastic together. I think Uemura is growing leaps and bounds, just sitting under the learning tree of someone as great as Christopher Daniels. And I'm a huge mark for Christopher Daniels. I think he's one of the great wrestlers of the last 20 years. Interesting that Uemura has a little bit of purple accents on his in his gear, and he's wearing white boots, so he's getting out of the all black. So we are seeing that he's no longer a young lion. It's fully coming out that he's starting to get his own style, his own presentation, kind of going on matching what Christopher Daniels did, which gives me hope that they keep him as a team for a little while longer. I thought this was a really good match. Two really good teams. I kind of knew, I kind of expected the ending. I didn't look up spoilers. I kind of, looking at this, obviously, Aussie Open's going to win, even though they use this as a way to make Uemura look more important, which they absolutely did. His stock has risen, being in this tournament, being in the finals. Aussie Open is a team that they're going to go with as a major team, so I definitely understand them winning here. I'm going to give this match a 4. I thought it was really good. Again, 2 really good matches back to back. I enjoyed everything I seen on this show. This was a really fun show. After the match, by the way, we get Jarrell Nelson challenges Aussie Open in a backstage segment, which is kind of funny because the 2 backstage segments aren't mentioned on commentary, and there's a obvious disconnect between when this show was recorded with the commentary, which I believe they did live commentary. It wasn't done after. And when they added these segments in, because the commentary doesn't seem to know about them, they say they're going off the air at the end of the match, and then there's this extra little piece in there, which is kind of funny and interesting. Overall, I thought it was a fantastic show. I say this week after week. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong is my favorite weekly wrestling show. I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was really good. And I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy, you have younger guys that are evolving right in front of your face. You have some of the great, more experienced talent like TMDK, Big Damo, Christopher Daniels being on the show, helping out with that evolution. I really think it's coming into its own, especially now that we're basically post-pandemic restrictions, that you can see more of a concurrent storylines, more people that are getting involved, especially we're seeing more of it bleeding over into the New Japan itself. Again, I thought the show was overall a 4. I thought it was really good. Now I do need to mention, this is going to be a disclaimer. No, not a disclaimer. Kind of a channel update for everybody watching. Starting next week, the 20th or 21st of August, depending on when you're watching this. Obviously, this is recorded August of 2022. Starting next week on the 20th or 21st, we're gonna change the schedule of when the videos are being released. I'm gonna split it up a little bit. Normally, I record all of my videos on my days off from my shoot job, and I release them the same day I record them, 9 times out of 10, or 99 times out of 100. Every now and again I will delay a video, or I'll shoot a video early because I have something I know to do and I want to keep it on the same release schedule. So I am going to change up the release schedule a bit. And the reasoning, and if you don't watch the videos and you don't care, definitely go ahead and click off. But for those of you that watch all my videos, thank you, first of all. Second of all, I wanted to give you this disclaimer at the end of this week's videos because next week it's going to change over. Starting next week, the 20th or 21st, depending on when I record it, we're going to change the schedule to this. The New Japan Strong review is either going to go up on late Saturday night or Sunday. So depending on what I'm doing Saturday, if there's not another pay-per-view or special event that I'm watching that same day, it'll go up Saturday. Or if I don't have a prior arrangement on Saturday night, it'll go up Saturday. If there is, like, let's say SummerSlam, which is a live show, as opposed to Strong, which is a recorded show, to me, when watching wrestling, the live show takes precedence over the recorded show. So if something like SummerSlam or an AEW pay-per-view happens, or a big event like Ric Flair's last match, or whatever it may be, happens on a Saturday, that's going to push the Strong show to Sunday. So either Saturday night or Sunday, you're going to get their Strong review. Then on Wednesdays, we're going to get It Came From the Network. which is, if you're not familiar, where we review historical shows, sometimes just random shows that you can find on Peacock, formerly WWE Network. Thursdays is going to be Walking in Memphis, which will be where we review both CWA and USWA wrestling from Memphis, Tennessee. We're going to review them alternately, one week CWA, the other week USWA, and basically it's switching between the 80s and 90s to make it the easiest way to explain that. So that'll be coming out on Thursdays. Then my top 10s will be released every Friday. The recording, I'm going to record Strong on late Saturday night, Sunday. The rest of them I'm going to record on Wednesday, because obviously, if you haven't been paying attention, I drop videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. Those are my normal days off from my shoot job. So with that, I'm going to record the 3 shows that aren't necessarily live, and they're going to have a timed release. It's going to make it a little bit easier for me. I also believe it's going to make it easier for you guys. I think putting out 2 shows, sometimes 3 shows, some Sundays I'll put out 3, maybe even 4 shows in a weekend. And I know that's a lot to watch. It's a lot to ask you to watch that many shows in one day, which I appreciate if you do. I really do. And I know you don't have to watch them that same day. I appreciate if you watch one every day. There's 2 reasons why I want to do this. I want to split it up a little bit, give you guys a break between the shows so you can watch one this day, one that day, basically. It's also going to open me up for Saturdays and Sundays. I can review pay-per-views and special shows, which I've already been doing. But it'll give it more time, so I'm not in so much of a time crunch on a Sunday recording all of that. And lastly, I know some of this sounds selfish, but the extra selfish reason, I think doing it this way is going to help with the YouTube algorithm to help grow my channel. Right now I'm not monetized. I don't make any money off of this. I do this for fun, basically. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy opening a discourse with you guys that watch this. The hopes are, if I have a schedule and it's going to be more open and more releases staggered throughout the week instead of on just 2 days, maybe it'll drive more eyes to the videos, which will give me more subscribers, which will get me to the point where I can monetize. And if I can monetize, I can improve the show. I could get better cameras. I could get better lighting. I definitely want better lighting. My lighting is terrible right now. I want a better microphone. This is stuff that I want to invest in, and with monetization, it'll make it a lot easier for me to do that, to make the show better for me and better for you guys. I can, eventually get to better editing software, all that great stuff. Well, that being said, I want to keep that at the end, and I know I rambled on for a few minutes about it. If you made it all the way to the end, please smash that like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't. If you made it to the end, let's put Rocky Romero in the comments for Rocky. What a great wrestler. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and this has been another review it's been my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 102.